Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today guys, I'm here in Forest Camp with my husband.
Hi everybody.
Because I think 6 days I'm not upload the video because I'm been for sick. I'm not feeling good and then I have UTI.
Yeah, she got triple whammy this week with various maladies. We won't get into all the details, but one of them was a UTI.
Yes.
And so we had to take her to we didn't have to. We took her to the doc, got some medication, and 6 days later she's all fixed up. The UTI went away a couple days. A migraine hit, but that was gone in an hour because we got medications from a friend, thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
And then the last one was, we won't mention, but it gave her cramps. And so she's just been lollygagging around in the bed with the dogs for 6 days.
Yes.
And she's been begging to go for some fresh air. And so here we are, we're at Forest Camp getting some fresh air. And what's your topic? Something about your girlfriends or something?
Yeah, for the topic today is, because a lot foreigner message with me in Messenger or Facebook, he's asking how to find the Filipina in the Philippines.
Are they asking about a particular Filipina, like the one you interviewed?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because the way to meet a Filipina in the Philippines is to get on a plane and come over here and meet her. You know, that's the short answer to that question. But what they want to do is they want to meet a particular Filipina that you've had on your channel.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Or you've gone on Facebook or whatever. And the comments never change. They all say, I'm a nice guy. I think her and I would be a good fit. And can I have her contact information? And our standard reply is, I'm sorry, but we don't give out young ladies' information to strangers. You know, thanks for writing, Ted Bundy, but no, we're not gonna do that. We have on occasion told a woman that a certain person is interested in them and given them their contact, like their Facebook profile. So let's say you have a girl named Sally on your program, and a guy named Bob contacts you or me, and says, "Boy, I do this, I do that." And you can only believe so much, but we'll tell Sally, "Hey, this guy Bob's interested in you."
Yeah.
And we let her take it from there, and she can choose to add him, not add him, communicate with him, or not communicate with him. What I find funny is these guys will like send money, and they'll send $100 or $200 sometimes, because sometimes the women that you interview are of a lower caste. Is that how it's said?
Yeah.
They're kind of like poor.
Yeah.
And they have a deficiency or a medical issue or something like that. That's vetted, it's true, it's real.
Yes.
And they say, I just want to help and I want to remain anonymous. And I think, well, that's very, very nice. So we have our envelope where we go and we put the money in for Sally, call it, and from Bob. And then inevitably, Bob, who sent the money and wanted to remain anonymous, doesn't really want to remain anonymous anymore. Like, by the way, I think that I could maybe help her with her future, and I could maybe send a monthly stipend to her and all this and that. And I just said, everybody has an agenda, and you're not being all that clever sometimes by saying I want to remain anonymous, and then 2 beats later you're coming back with, well, I would like to be in contact with her. It runs more often than not to be the case. So I think that the biggest issue with that is, number one, the safety.
Yeah.
If you have total strangers just coming online, throwing some money around or not, and just saying that they want to meet them. The ones that I get a kick out of are the guys that tell me how muscular they are, how beautiful they are, how handsome they are, how rich they are. And I'm thinking, well, what do you need us for? You're so wonderful. Why don't you just walk out your front door and get this thing handled right there wherever you're at? You don't have to come over here if you're that perfect. But guys are guys, women are women, and it never ceases to amaze me how guys react and respond. And it shouldn't amaze me because I'm the same way deep down inside. If there's a beautiful woman that walks by, I will look at her and I will admire her. And it's rude to do that in front of May, but the way I've explained it to May is that's how men are wired. And I said it's the same thing. Like if a woman was to walk by here right now, here at Forest Camp, I couldn't help myself. My eyes would fall, she knows it.
It's frozen.
And I would go, hey, look at that. I'd tell her, I'd go, hey, what do you think about that one? You know, but it's the same, I liken it to a Ferrari or a Bugatti or a cool looking classic car. You know, I'd go, wow, look at that car. And I would be transfixed by that car. And you know what? The minute it turns the corner, I've forgotten about the car. I just like admired it while it was going by. The same thing with a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman might go walking in front of my radar. I pick her up on my little spectrum here and I watch it. And then the minute she turns the corner, I forgot about it. It was just a momentary thing. And that is what happens, I think, online when these guys, they will watch the video over and over and over again when you have a super pretty, attractive, small girl.
Small girl, tiny girl.
Everybody seems to like the tiny girls with the long hair.
Long hair.
And the same MO on every time you interview one like that.
Yes.
And yet the one that's a little overweight or the one that's not so cute gets no attention whatsoever. And she might be in dire straits and really needs the money, you know? So go figure. That's just the way it goes. And it's a fine line that we walk. I've kind of dialed back on interviewing her friends just because of the hassle factor. I mean, it's a hassle when people send us money because we're accountable for it. And we never want to just, we want to make sure it goes to the right person and that every penny is accounted for. So we write it down and we keep track of it. We put it in envelopes. And then we got to hunt the girls down and find them to give them the money. And then you give them the money. And sometimes that does more harm than good because it might lead them down the path of, hey, all I got to do is join some dating site or go online and dress a certain way. And guess what? I'm going to have all these admirers and the money's going to keep coming. So, moral of the story from my perspective is if you are online and you're chatting with somebody and you're sending them tons of money, you're really shooting yourself in the foot because you're setting yourself up for the future as Mr. Moneybags, which you may or may not be. And women actually lose respect for you if they don't see that you're good with a buck and that you're frugal. And telling someone no right up front sets the stage for who's going to be the leader of this thing. And if I was walking today if I wasn't married to you and I was walking with someone that I had just met and she pointed to some purse in the store and wanted me to buy it for 4,000 pesos, well, I would say, no, it's not in my budget. And then, depending upon her response, it would tell me, do I want to continue with this person or not? So if she goes into Tampa or has a hissy fit, you know, or just, you know, drops my hand that she was holding because I'm not going to buy that friggin' purse, I'm like, you know, nice knowing you. See you later, bye. I don't need this. What were you doing before I came along? But then if you have a woman that says, you know what, that's a beautiful handbag, but too much money. Well, that is a good sign to me. You know, I would never pay 4,000 pesos for a handbag. I could get one down the street for, what, 10 cents on the dollar, right? That's the lady that you're looking for.
For
I don't
me,
know how I got
Nicole.
off on that tangent. But anyway, back to your topic of
for
meeting
me,
the women and the comments and everything else. Feel free to send comments, but please don't send money. Please,
that's true.
stop doing it.
Don't do it.
It only lasts for a short period of time. I think in many ways, money can corrupt just like power. And sometimes it plants a seed, and these young ladies are very impressionable, depending on how their age is. You know, but you meet a lot of girls that are 21, 22, 23, and it's just led to the Peanut Girl. Remember
Yes.
the Peanut Girl?
Peanut Girl is
Oh,
very
man,
famous.
She was chased by everybody in town after she came on Maze Channel.
But I'm not
and
give
the
the-
funny thing is she plays for the other team. She's
Yeah.
she's not heterosexual. She has a female boyfriend. And so talk about barking up the wrong tree. These guys were, it was comical. I knew guys that came to
I'm
town
confused.
to meet
I'm
the
not-
Peanut Girl.
I'm not give the detail, the complete name.
No.
But how he
No.
find that
They
Peanut
came
Girl?
and went on an absolute hunt because they knew that she sold peanuts on a corner somewhere. And 3 guys I know went on this rampage. Some came in from other cities to hunt down the freaking Peanut Girl because she was so attractive and she was so
Yeah,
well
Morena
built.
girl,
She
yeah.
had, some assets that
Yes.
most Filipinos don't
Yeah.
have. And she's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. I do not blame them for the attraction, but it turns out that it was like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink because you don't have the right equipment to keep the Peanut Girl happy. You're the wrong gender for her. And that what I thought was really funny.
Yes.
So I'd sit back and watch the train wreck. Yeah, I'm coming to meet the Peanut Girl. Oh, good luck with that.
I have a question, Daddy Paul.
Yeah.
Why the old foreigner is very attract for example, I have the interview the tiny girl
Mm-hmm.
and very morena girl. Why and long hair? Why
Mm-hmm.
is foreigner is very attract the long hair and morena girl or
Mm-hmm.
tiny girl? Why?
Same as me. Same reason is that it's the exact opposite of what is available in our home countries. Most of the women and men, for that matter, just to be fair, are overweight in America right now. There's just in fact, I talked to a couple of guys that are there as we speak today, visiting family or going to look at taking care of business. And I said, so what's the population look like? And they all said, boy, big. As far as the tan skin, that is very exotic for us. We like, ever since I was a teenager, we used to go to the beach and lay out in the sun to get a tan because it gives you that healthy look. It makes you look like you're outdoorsy and healthy, and it's just a beautiful shade of skin tone. It's just beautiful in our eyes, at least. Maybe not yours, but for us, that dark tan merino, they call it, skin with the long brown legs, just beautiful. And then the long hair is just something that seemed to get lost in the 1950s back in the States.
Look my hair like that, very long hair.
Everybody, I love that. I told you that. It's just so feminine looking, and I don't know, it looks like half the women, once they hit 30, decide to go to the hairdresser and come out looking like Janet Reno. They got some sort of boy cut, because it's just so easy to maintain, and it's so sensible. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, you be sensible, and I'm going to go to Asia.
So you mean is Asian countries famous?
Very famous, yeah.
For
feminine-looking women. And America, I don't want to bash American women because I have a mother and a sister.
Yeah.
And they're both very, well, my mother's dead, but you didn't say it. My
But
sister's
I like
beautiful.
Yeah, I like American girl because the nose very beautiful and very
Oh.
white skin.
Yeah,
Blue eyes,
let me be
everything.
fair here. Let me
Perfect.
be fair. Is that there's a lot of beautiful American women. The problem is that they have they're unattainable. Their expectations are super high. They have all these requirements. They know their value, and yet I think they sometimes overvalue themselves to the point that one day they're 40 years old, and now they're like, why am I alone? And it's because you weren't able to look at the quality of the man, or go past the fact that he isn't a millionaire, or go past the fact that he doesn't look like Brad Pitt, or that he doesn't have, this perfect biceps and triceps, and drives this great car. What kind of guy is that anyway? He's going to have his own attitude. and she's going to have to put up with that. So I think that a lot of the beautiful, attractive women in America just sort of price themselves out of the game, for lack of a better word. I don't know how else to put it. And then your ordinary women are, even though they're ordinary women, there seems to be an attitude that's prevalent in America that's a lot more competitive, angry, short-tempered. They're kind of like guys in a way. Not all, but some. Different parts of the country have different attitudes. Midwest, I think, is much more affable than, say, the East Coast or the West Coast women. But again, that's just coming from one person. That's me. And it's been a long time since I've been there. So that's my spin on it.
Yeah.
So back on your topic, the little girls, or I shouldn't say little girls, the women that are on your channel that are small and tiny and little,
long hair,
have long hair, and they're cute. Remember, they're young, they're immature, they don't really know what they want. Their English probably isn't going to be that great. So you may come over here chasing something that doesn't even really exist. Trying to hang on to someone like that's going to be like hanging on to smoke. And it generally just doesn't work.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
We've seen more failures than successes.
Yeah.
However, your little channel has been responsible for, I know of at least 2 or 3 marriages where people did meet.
Yeah.
Where you did give out the girl, you gave the girl, the guy's information.
Yes.
And she chose to go ahead and talk to him. And they formed a relationship online.
Yeah.
He flew over, and now they're living here, and as far as I know, they're all doing good.
Yes, and after that, he's ignored me.
And then after that, they don't even say thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And then the other one, she's been in my channel, and then now she's moved in America, and I see in the Facebook she's married, and then no thank you. She ignored me. But for me, it's okay.
Well, people have agendas, you know. Everybody's looking out for number one.
Yeah.
And Filipinas especially are very short-sighted. They don't have that memory. But it is a little weird to know that you're the catalyst. If without you, they would never have met.
Yes.
And we didn't even get an invitation to the wedding.
Yeah, no.
So I find that strange. I mean, I just find it impolite or self-centered, or I guess you're just going to have to admit the fact that you got used. You know, they wanted to come on your channel because they wanted to advertise.
Yes.
And they wanted to meet somebody, and you were the easiest avenue. And then after they got done with you, they moved on.
Yes.
And that was that.
Yeah.
So, oh well, come see, come saw.
Yes,
that's kind of the video.
Yes.
So, I don't know if this was helpful to you or not, but in the future, if you see women on May's channel that you're attracted to, it's fine to make a comment. But please, we ask you to please just don't send money.
Yes,
we don't want to deal with it anymore.
Don't send the money.
We have to rearrange our budget unless, and we've never asked for money. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
We've never come out and said, hey guys, can you help this girl? You know, she's in big trouble. The only time that I think we got close to doing that on my channel was when Jules died.
Yeah.
And that woman was in dire straits and needed funds. But even then, I didn't take the money. I said, send it to her. And then that's when Justin over at Critter Republic, he stepped up because his PayPal worked and hers didn't. So it was a group effort. But that was also to help our dear friend Jules have a less painful death. Unfortunately, he did pass. But that's the only one time that I can remember us coming out and saying, hey guys, would you pony up and help these people? And it worked. And the good thing is I think I got $400 and I gave it to her just before she left for America.
You are a big help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we tried. But the point being is that when we do these videos with these women, we may set up their circumstances and tell the truth. And primarily, it's to let people know that they've got it pretty damn good when they were 20 years old compared to what some of these women or young people in general are facing on a daily basis. I don't think too many people watching this channel when they were teenagers or in their 20s were facing, you know, food shortages in the house. I'm sure they have their issues, but some of the things out here can turn to life or death. And so May told me the other day that I've saved her life twice
Yeah.
because of sickness. That
Yes.
if she had been in the province, living with her mom, and didn't know me or somebody else that could step in, take her to the hospital. You had the one episode where your throat was closing
Yes.
because of allergy.
Allergy.
And then the other thing with the infection that you had.
Yes.
And we got antibiotics just kind of in the nick of time.
Yeah.
So,
You're very big help with me.
well, that's the things
you
that
saved me
people
my
do
life.
when they have, those are the priorities. You
Yeah.
know, I'd rather see you get into the doctor, get into the dentist, get braces, get into things that are going to help you in the long run instead of some gadget and toy. You've got to confess that I don't buy you a lot of gadgets and toys, except on your birthday or Christmas. And then I'll splurge on it. All right, so we managed to get completely off topic on that.
Yes.
What the hell? We did your video, and
Yes.
we'll see how it goes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Daddy Paul, for always this my YouTube channel. And guys, thank you so much and see you next video. Bye-bye.
We'll see you later, guys.